You know, it's interesting. When I was a teacher and then a school principal, I realized that it is the lives of our children that is our future. The later start times seem to be a way to address the sleep needs of teenagers. The benefits that we see for these students who have more sleep. What happens is, and I think this is an important piece of information, the biology of the teen brain is such that during adolescence, the teenage brain, cannot really fall asleep much before 11 or 11:15 at night. By the same token, it doesn't wake up until about 8 in the morning. So the human brain at its beneficial time for sleep is 9 hours and 15 minutes. In fact, actually, up until about 2018, more than 2,000, and I'm not exaggerating, 2,000 studies have been done on adolescent sleep. Students that have adequate sleep have less depression, less tendency to use drugs, cigarettes, and alcohol. They get better grades. They do better in sports. They are in less car accidents because they are not falling asleep at the wheel and they're not running into us on the road or into the ditch and causing a car accident. So I did an early study in 1996 in a local high school, and when I was interviewing the principal and the teachers and the psychologist and the nurses and so on, the answers I got were incredible. Wrote up the report in 1996, and then in 1997, the Minneapolis Public Schools, a much larger district of 52,000 students at the time, adopted the idea of the later starting time, and I did an identical study as I had done in the suburban district prior. And I found the same results. Even though I was in a district previously that it was a wealthy school district, Minneapolis couldn't have been more different because of the diversity of economics and students and so on. But the students' response to the later start time was identical. They were happier, they were more well-rested, everything was beneficial. The other two things that have happened policy-wise nationally is that California, as a state, passed legislation in 2019 that the entire state of California mandated that all public high schools as of 2022, which is this past school year, begin their high schools no earlier than 8:30, high school and middle school no earlier than 8 o'clock, statewide. It's remarkable. That affects millions of teenagers in the state of California. Recently, this past May, which is only a couple of months ago, the state of Florida also discussed and passed the legislation that mandated school starting times similar to California, so that the high schools cannot start any earlier than 8:30, middle schools can't start any earlier than 8 o'clock. To think that this is going to be an easy change, You're talking about changing people's family schedules, bus schedules, the rhythm of the community, how people commute to work, how the traffic works, lunch, all the different times that lunch is served, how childcare is addressed, the use of parks and recreation, how do the shared facilities that are shared between Parks and Rec and the school district, the fields, the hockey rinks, and all those things, how all that gets settled. You don't make a decision based on just athletics or just buses or just childcare. A community is a holistic place. It's a holistic experience for everybody, and the community makes the decisions about what's best for the students and for the kids. And if the belief in the benefits and the well-being of the children, and they are our children, if you believe that that's what you're all about, then you make the best decisions. The best decisions keep the child as the number one focus, and we adults are charged with making their lives as healthy and as successful as possible.